Understood 1. We talked earlier about x as a variable dot and about how that in a term like 3x dot the 3 is a constant coefficient dot on x that multiplies it. What we want to say now is that dot while x by itself looks dot like it has no coefficient, dot it actually has a coefficient of 1. In other words, dot whenever anything has a coefficient of 1, dot we just don't write it, dot because we agree that it's implied. We'll talk more later about how to add like terms like 3x plus x. And if we think it more, we realize that essentially everything has an understood coefficient of 1. To pick a random example, even the number 7 we could think of as 1, 7. Because 1 is the identity number for multiplication, which we learned about in pre-algebra. This idea of the understood 1 also extends to denominators. Every value has an implied denominator of 1, since dividing something by 1 doesn't change its value. And finally, we can extend this idea to exponents, so x is understood to be x to the power of 1, and 7 is understood to be 7 to the power of 1, since raising any value to the power of 1 doesn't change its value. It's a little absurd. Why does this matter? It might seem a little odd. Make this weird point that x equals 1x caret 1 1, so why are we even bothering? We've already seen that this concept helps us simplify something like 0.3x plus x or 3x, x. But let's look at some more examples. When this understood 1 comes into play. If we want to rewrite this sum as only one fraction, our first step is to realize that x by itself is actually a fraction, too. Start by simplifying the expression in parentheses, using the fact that x equals x01. We need a common denominator. If we multiply the second fraction by 3, which is like multiplying by 1, and therefore doesn't change the value of the original fraction. This time let's go in the opposite direction. By simplifying an expression that contains some understood 1 is that we can eliminate. Within the denominator, the parentheses indicate multiplication. So we have 1 multiplied by x. This is as far as we can simplify, which is why x01 simplifies to x, but dividing 1 by x is the opposite operation and doesn't simplify the same way.